Hey everybody, Mr. Tallman here with your beginning of the week update for 8th grade. We got a lot of really kind of new and exciting things coming our way this week. First off, I just want to say the 8th grade did an awesome job last week working on their papal reflection papers. Those ultimately are due on November 6th. Now I am offering a early turn-in date on October 23rd, and I'll do this each trimester. A couple weeks before the actual turn-in date, I'll have this early turn-in date, and if kids hand in the papal reflection papers at that point, I promise that I will grade them, give them feedback, and hand them back to them, and allow them to make any necessary changes they need prior to then the official turn-in date, like November 6th. It's a great opportunity to get a little bit of feedback from me on these papers. I encourage them as well to share these papers with you, give you a chance to kind of read through. It's fun to see these 8th graders just mature over the years in their writing. They really, by the time they get to be 8th graders, they're just really phenomenal writers. So a big shout out to Mrs. Peterson and Miss Fannin for the job that they do, because they really do a good job getting these kids to the point where they can really be articulate in their writing. So, all right, quick update there. All right, now a couple more things. Got them behind me here for everybody. First off, big change on Wednesday. Wednesday will not be a Bruin Day this week. It will be a Maroon Day. Wanted to make sure that we saw all the kids in the middle school equal amount of time this week. And since we had the chance to kind of shuffle things around a little bit, we just decided to do it. So tomorrow, Wednesday, will actually be a Maroon Day. And Thursday will be a Maroon Day. And then Friday will be a gray day as usual. So just a heads up on that. And then next, Marian consecration this week. I've been working 33 days getting ready for this, and tomorrow's the big day. So we'll be doing Marian consecration throughout the middle school, which is really exciting. And then next we have our religion question of the day check-in. So each day I do one of these religion questions of the day. This week we're doing a video series on Pope Francis, kind of looking at some different videos. So he just came out with a new encyclical, and he's had some really interesting things to say. So we're going to be looking at those and watching a couple of videos and doing some reflections. And then finally, we get to kind of the heart of what we're going to be working on this week, which is, if we can kind of go back a couple weeks, I want to just kind of walk you through the sequence here. But a couple weeks ago, 8th grade did their Faith Hero posters, which are always a lot of fun to see, and they're hanging in the hallway, and they're really fantastic. And kind of a chance to reflect on the people in our lives who have really kind of helped us to, know who Jesus is and to find the joy of being, a disciple of Christ. And so as we looked at that, we kind of recognized then that obviously, looking at those posters, family members were the vast majority of the people we put on our posters. So then last week, we took a deep look into what's essential about the family. Why is it a family that we come to meet and, to encounter Christ? So we talked about that last week, along with our papal reflection that we did, which was on the same subject. Now I want to take the next step. So what about community and society? Like, how does that work? How do we, from our families, bring Christ out into the world? And how does that change stuff? So that's going to be the focus of our conversations this week in class. In particular, we're going to be doing a case study. We're going to look at a really fantastic story about this young man named Emmanuel. Emmanuel grew up in Ghana. And when he grew up, he grew up with a deformed leg. So one of his legs was disfigured. It was that way from birth. Now, in Ghanaian society, it's typical that those babies are seen as kind of a message from, if you will, God, that there's something wrong in the family. And so, God doesn't bless the baby in that way. So sometimes those babies are sadly discarded. In particular, people with disabilities in Ghana for generations had been treated as second-class citizens. All that was true until Emmanuel came on the scene, and he decided to do some really heroic things. He decided to, as silly as it sounds, ride a bicycle across Ghana. So here's this, this man with one good, healthy leg who gets on a bicycle, rides it across the country, and gets all this attention. And people started to realize very quickly that maybe people with disabilities, maybe they're not worthless like society at the time thought. Maybe there's some value there. In addition to that, at the exact same time, we have this American company, this foundation that reaches out to Emmanuel and kind of embraces him. And the fruit of all of this has been great change in Ghana, where now they have laws that protect people who are disabled and things of that nature. So this week, we're going to be watching Emmanuel's Gift, a little story about his journey from infancy up until the changes that we start to see in Ghana. So we're going to be watching this video, doing a little bit of case study, a little reflecting. In particular, though, focusing on the idea that we when we carry Christ out into the world, we have the ability to change the world, which is pretty cool stuff. So that's going to be the focus. This is going to be the foundation that we'll build off of when we start talking about Catholic social teaching or social justice. And so we'll be looking at maybe playing the Skittle game next week sometime. So that's what we're doing in 8th grade this week. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. Happy to reach out to you. All right. Have a great week, everybody. God bless you. Bye-bye.